Hi, my name is Ariel, and I do readings based off of the energy of the moon. Today, I am doing a reading for the new moon in Aquarius. My impression of the new moon is that it is a good time to clear away the things that don't serve you, as well as set intentions for what you would like to bring into the upcoming month, because the new moon right now is typically like a couple days before the first of the month. Since the moon is in Aquarius, that is an air sign, so my preconceived notions of what this moon could possibly be about is that air often represents thoughts and ideas. And so maybe during this new moon, we might want to set an intention to let go of old thought paradigms, identities, mental constructs that are no longer serving us, so that we can step into the highest version of ourselves. But we will let the cards determine what they want to say for whoever turns into this video. It is my intention to read for the highest good of the collective that tunes into this video for the Aquarius new moon, January 29th. I'm going to start by asking a question. My question is, what is the collective, what is maybe something the collective is not paying attention to that they should bring into their awareness to let go of, so that they can bring new energy into their lives? So what should this collective focus on letting go of during this new moon energy? Alright, we're gonna start with two cards. This one I picked, just had a look to it, and this one popped out. Interesting. So I'm pretty new to tarot, which doesn't really matter that much. For those of you that don't know, the cards are just tools, like reflective tools for your intuition. So the meaning of the cards is always going to change based on the person who's doing the reading, who they're reading for. Just different things are going to pop out. When I look at this right away, so I've been given the Six of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So the number 6 is usually, and this is the image for anyone who's interested in seeing it. The Six of Pentacles, or just the number 6, usually represents balance and harmony. And my own personal interpretation is sometimes it's just things aren't always as they seem. But I'm not so certain that that is the energy of this card in this moment. The card is giving me the energy of abundance, of community. We have a lot of little creatures in this card. There seems to be like a chipmunk, a bird, a couple moths, as well as the Six Pentacles, and some kind of like berry bush around them. Because we've been given pentacles, pentacles often represents like the physical world. People like to associate it to money because it has the pentacles in there. But it can also be the physical body and your health. I want to say that the collective that I'm reading for maybe is facing something unexpected or challenging in the arena of health or finances. And I'm not acutely sure what this is about. It could be different because this reading is for a number of people. But because I've been given the Knight of Cups, I want to say the advice regarding this area of something in your health may be feeling out of balance, something in your physical world may be feeling out of place. And the Knight of Cups, it reminds us to hold compassion for ourselves. It reminds us to bring in comfort, to comfort ourselves during periods of unease and disharmony. And it's just a reminder to take those extra loving actions and intentions for yourself to help you transition through whatever this physical challenge is. And for some reason, I'm just getting the impression that whatever this physical challenge is, it's almost like come out of the blue. And maybe you felt like you were either in a place of harmony or peace, or you were anticipating a season of harmony and peace, and something disrupted that. And you might just be holding on to these feelings of this just isn't what I wanted right now. This isn't what I needed right now. You've been waiting for some form of abundance. And that could be abundance monetarily, physically. It could be abundance in love and compassion. It could be abundance in clarity. And I think this card is just reminding us that there's always something valuable to learn. With these unexpected obstacles. And your kind of task for this time is to learn how to hold compassion for yourself while you are being challenged. Because this challenge is actually going to be the thing that helps you hold this higher level, this higher level of abundance and energy. Learning how to hold energy for yourself during challenging times allows you to learn how to hold energy for others, as well as hold more energy for abundance to come in. If you feel at all inclined to do any meditational practices, I would recommend sitting in a space of self-love even though I know that is challenging. And hold your hands like literally like this, like open. And just imagine when you're holding this space with your hands, you're also holding space for your pain and frustration. But you're also holding space for something unexpected to come into your life, some type of blessing. And it could just be in the form of enlightenment or a perception shift. So right now, Spirit is asking you to just hold space for yourself and practice growing that space. I just got the image of like a cup overflowing. I want to say that, so my hand's like really activated right now. I want to say that when you learn to hold this space and energy, the rocks and roadblocks that you previously tripped on, things that bothered you, they're not going to hold the same weight as they're holding right now. I'm also reminded of yesterday I went on a walk. And when I left my house, I walked across the street and I was walking my dog, so of course he stopped to smell everything. And I looked up in this tree and there was this hawk. And I really had anticipated that when I looked at this hawk or moved around this hawk, that it might fly away, disturbed by our presence. But instead I just stood there and I locked eyes with the hawk, and the hawk looked back at me. And I just felt this sense of curiosity. And I was honestly just, I guess, delighted that like the hawk didn't go anywhere, it just stayed there, just so that we could share energy for a moment. And I think this is saying a couple of things, like, just like the hawk, when energies are moving in and out of your life, just try to hold space, not only space, but hold some curiosity for what it is like this is teaching you right now. And it's almost impossible for you to hold a space of curiosity when you're very zoomed in onto a situation. So maybe zoom out like the hawk does, overseeing things. And you'll find that when you take this perspective shift of zooming out of your situation that you were laser focused on, you're suddenly going to feel like your lungs can expand again, like you can see more parts playing into whatever the situation is. And it holds room for curiosity, and when you have that curiosity, you're able to learn whatever it is that you need to learn during the season of your life right now. I'd like us just to take a couple deep breaths together to kind of absorb that message. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in and out. I'm going to take one more breath. Deep breath in and out. And in this moment, I would like you to just focus on the energy of the hawk. Accept whatever guidance the hawk is trying to bring into your life right now. Hold compassion and space for yourself. It's okay if you don't immediately understand a situation that you're in. Sometimes when the mind is confused, it's a good opportunity to try and to tune into the energetic layer of a situation. Just becoming more sensitive to your energy and the energies of those around you. Okay, so I am gonna pull a couple more cards. Oh, I also noticed that when I made this cup of tea earlier, it says inner peace creates peace in the world. So I just wanted to share that with you. It feels relevant to that. Knight of Wands. This card's really funny to me right now. I wanted to say this tarot reading's like off the chain, but what I really mean is like, I love looking in this book. By the way, the deck that I'm using is called the Forger's Daughter Tarot, and the cards are just so beautiful. I just wanted to show you that. And I do a lot of reading from this book because, like I said, I am new to tarot, but I feel like right now I'm just completely off the I'm not even paying attention to that. Just completely intuiting the meaning of the cards. Anyway, the Knight of Wands. So this is really funny to me because Knight energy, I think, inherently represents some type of action, right? And Wands is what I would tie into also the element of fire, which could also be taking action. But I've come to like a new understanding of the word action lately, especially when it comes to any of these readings that you see on YouTube. Sometimes some of these readings give me anxiety because some people, and I know that they're really well intending, but they're like, you know what you're supposed to do the thing, you know what I mean? And like that gives me anxiety sometimes because I feel like a lot of, anyway, like my personal life lessons lately is not the action that I need to take, but the stillness that I need to surrender to. And I want to say that that is a form of action, is the non-action, okay? So when I get this Knight of Wands, with Knight meaning action to me, and kind of like this charging kind of energy, and Wands meaning fire, also an energy of action, I actually want to say they're canceling each other out, and this is really to mean step into stillness and non-action and holding space for yourself. So I feel like it's just doubling down on this holding space aspect. And I see that there's a snake that is wrapped around this wand, right? And because he is wrapped around like this upright wand, in the stillness of being coiled around this wand, kind of like perched, he's able to see more of what is actually going on, which really brings us back to the hawk. I'm going to see if there's anything else in this card that I might possibly be missing. Just flipped by the stillness card real fast. So I'm actually going to read that one because that sounds way more relevant. Okay. So, under the cover of a thick cropping of pines, two golden eyes watch the scenery that lies ahead. A bobcat is moving slowly and stealthily through a wintry landscape, taking steps to cause as little a disturbance as possible. Among the thick snowflakes, 3 downy feathers fall silently. The bobcat is built to move silently through its environment. His thickly padded feet muffle any noise from his footsteps. And his large eyes can quickly survey the terrain for the best places to step. This is a time where actions must be weighed carefully. Sometimes it is more beneficial to be still and quiet, to watch and observe. Think carefully about what disturbances might be sent out if you move too quickly or too rashly. Winter in the Midwest is a huge part of life for people and animals alike. While the cold can be difficult to deal with, something that always struck me was how silent the woods can be just after a snowfall. The powder coating of the snow seems to absorb every sound, leaving your senses heightened. You become very aware of the noise you make as you move through the trail, how loud the crunch of ice is under your feet. These moments remind me to be mindful of my existence, how I might alert others to my presence, and most importantly, to watch closely the movement of others around me. So I got 2 different images as I was reading this description of the stillness card. And the first one was the description of the bobcat. The bobcat sounded very calculated. His eyes, his light eyes, like yellow eyes, popping out in contrast to the dark, stood out to me. I want to say that this energy of the bobcat is like your higher self, your spirit guides, your angels, orchestrating something in the background that you don't currently have awareness of. So even while you are taking this knee right now with your inaction, with your stillness, know that there's subtle work being done. And this is all going to work out for your highest good. And right now you're just being asked to maintain faith and really lean into those practices that comfort you. I know that especially like in this day and age, Western society, the act of stillness is extremely uncomfortable for most of us. We have this complex that if we're not a million steps ahead, we're going to fall behind. And we've often tied in our ability to work is very heavily tied into our self-worth. But that's just not the case. And we're switching to a new paradigm where that is going to be less and less the case. So the work that you have to do right now is very gentle. People around you might not really understand why you're moving slowly, but it's because you're doing subtle work. And it is really in your best interest that you allow this subtle work to be done, even if you really feel like compulsed or compelled to take action. Something else popped up while I was reading this. She was describing in this book that when things are really still, it's almost like even your breath is like disturbing you. Like when things are really still, when things are really quiet, when there's not a lot of distractions, your senses are heightened. And these things that you're noticing about yourself and the way that you process emotions and information, you just wouldn't ordinarily notice them. You'd probably roll them off your shoulder. But because you are holding space, you are creating space, you're going to notice these inconvenient feelings pop up, and that's okay. That's intentional. You just need to let them flow through you. Don't hold on to them. Don't create stagnation or blockages in your body. And I don't know if you do happen to be dealing with something physical, like I don't know the extent of that, but find whatever way you can to create some movement, or even just set the intention, like I'm creating movement in my body, like I am removing blockages, even if that is just moving your hands and arms or your breath. So in addition to holding space for yourself, keeping your hands open, also just maybe move your arms around your body and breathe, and just allow your breath in these small motions to like maybe remove any blockages that you might be feeling, help you work through whatever emotions are surfacing like during this time. And I think that would be really helpful for you. I'm going to pull from the Sacred Cycles Oracle deck just because I really love this deck. Why are we getting the menopause card again? We got another 6. That is so funny. I got this card in the last reading I did. So this, once again, 6 is things aren't as they seem. So like, even though you might not be able to see all the work that is being done on the surface level, just trust that your spirit guides are taking care of things on the back ends. That is, I think, what both of the sixes represent to me right now. The menopause card represents aligning both the left and right hemispheres of your brain. I also want to say that this is balancing masculine and feminine energies. This is both the things that you are doing and not doing, right? It's holding that still space for intuition, inspiration, and creativity. That is the feminine. And holding space for the masculine side, that is usually the action, the structure side. So at this time, you are merging both of your masculine and feminine energies. They are coming into balance and harmony. And this is really going to change things for you moving forward. It's really going to change how you approach life. It's also going to like infinitely increase success for you, and whatever that means. It doesn't have to be a career. It could be a relationship. It could be your personal relationship with yourself. Whatever success means for you. This like act of balancing out both this masculine and feminine energy, this doing and non-doing, this knowing and not knowing, it's going to be like you're not even going to waste like a single ounce of energy almost, you know what I mean? Because you're going to move so intuitively like through your path. Like you're just really going to start flowing through life. Things are going to get easier when you've mastered this feeling. And once again, I'm holding my hands open like this. This is really important. When you're too zoomed in on a situation, something that's bothering you, and your mind is working really hard to try to figure out a solution, It represents this these closed fists. And when your fists are closed, you can't receive anything. You can't receive inspiration, solutions, help. So it's just really important for you to surrender into whatever this is right now. I got this card before, but just right now I'm seeing in the background is the ocean. Look at her holding space, right? And the ocean in the background, it just represents your emotions. Like I said, while you're in this place of stillness, emotions are going to surface, and you just need to let them. This is really important for your healing and for moving forward. She's holding her hands like this over her womb space. Maybe might feel inclined to do that. Almost imagining both your doing and your non-doing, your feminine and your masculine energies being held in a center. And her hands are resting over the womb space, which is also the sacral chakra and the space for creativity and for ideas to blossom. And I feel like I already said this, but it's just holding that emptiness, holding that empty space allows the right ideas to drop in for you. Okay. I think we're going to wrap this up with one of these cards, Path of the Soul by Cheryl Lee Harnish. Just always feel like they're uplifting. These cards are made from fractal art, so they're really interesting to look at. It's nearly impossible for me to memorize the meaning of them. Oh my god, okay, so you got number 22. That's cool. Which could be partnership, masculine, feminine, harmony. Two sides of a coin. I don't know what this card is yet. Here's the card, by the way, but kind of looks like a bird to me. Maybe an owl. Looking at it, I feel like it represents creative space. It's just kind of cute. It's kind of goofy. Anyway, I'm going to actually read the definition of the card. Cosmos of the Heart. You are now being called to embark on a new path in your journey. This is an inner path. It's the path least traveled. It's the one that people around you probably aren't going to understand. It is the path of your heart. It is here where you are discovering your greatest strength of all, that deep connection to your higher self and inner guidance. Others may be surprised by your choices. They may even react strongly to them. Do not allow this to stop you. Send those individuals loving energy and continue on letting your heart direct the way. Take note of the synchronistic events occurring around you as life unfolds in its own divine way. I don't really think I need to, I think that wraps it up perfectly, honestly. I don't even feel like I need to explain it. But I feel like you're really just turning a page in your life, tapping into your creativity, your inner wisdom, your intuition. This is a new chapter for you. And it's okay if the outside world doesn't understand what you're doing right now. In some way, it's all going to make sense eventually. People might be surprised by what is coming up on your path, even with your unconventional methods, seemingly. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you got something from it. Once again, my name is Ariel. I post readings, usually, for the phases of the moon. It's about 4 times a month. The major phases, the first, the last quarter, the full, and the new moon. I might post more frequently if I feel like it, but right now that is my structure. I also create meditations and affirmations, usually based off of whatever I pull from these cards. For the new moon in Aquarius, I have already created a meditation before I did this card reading, and it is all based on the element of air. It includes, I don't know if you are a Last Airbender fan, but it includes Appa from The Last Airbender, the air bison. And in this meditation, Appa is going to help you carry away old identities and thought patterns that are no longer serving you so that you can make room for your new identity. If you're interested in listening to that, it is both on Spotify and on YouTube. The name of the channel is Quantum Ian Meditations. I'll include a link to all of my stuff in the description of this video. Thank you so much for following along, especially if you made it to the end of this video. Reading for you, the collective, really brings a lot of joy to my heart right now. I just love that I never know what I'm gonna get, because this is a collaborative experience. We are co-creating my energy, your energy, and the energy of the universe, and I just love that. So remember to follow your inner guidance and to follow the moon. Thank you.